push, and then it's coming back down to that support level, and then you go, that's totally okay. You know, we're totally fine with that type of move. But the ideal one, like you don't want to push it after like just a couple big monster candles, especially if it spikes off at the open, guys. So we'll keep an eye on that because you did get like $2 move already on the pre-pre. And when you get such a big move on the pre-pre like that, ideally you'll have that kind of pullback that you need. Does that make sense on the game plan for this? Cool. Just making sure. Good. So we'll use that same game plan for PDD and Huya. I think that if we stick to that, we'll be able to nail it pretty easy. Does it make sense, Johnny? All right, cool. XS. You know, you had a big day on this on Friday. Biotechs are going to be hot today because of the ONCE breakout or the buyouts. ONCE got bought out for like $4 or $5 billion. Usually when that happens, biotechs get hot. This was already hot on Friday. It's not even technically a biotech. It just moves with it. But if you go red to green on this, it looks like you're getting a flat open. I think you should be okay. That's gonna be a heater for you right there too. Dun, 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 dun. Hold on. Good. Boom. Let's see here. So we got PDD. Sorry, I've been on the tube all damn morning. Forgot where I was. All right. TTD. After that big run, right? 47 points on Friday. You're getting a weak open on this. If you get a weak open and a red to green, watch for that break over 200. It very well may fart around a little bit today too. It depends on how, you know, the market digests this opening gap. After a big day like this, it's natural sometimes to get an inside day where you just stick under like the previous day's range. That'll be something that we have to be just mindful of. Same thing with Roku, right? Like if you have like a 47 million shares in volume, this is obviously a huge breakout, especially in relation to like where its float is and stuff like that. And you had a 9 EMA D rider like all day. I mean, at least till 1 p.m., right? That's your money move right there. So it might be that it gets choppy today. I wouldn't be surprised to see like a quick push and then a fade off later just because of the velocity of the move. Sometimes, like gapper plays are awesome on day twos, but sometimes they just move so aggressively that, you know, you may lose a little bit of the range. So just got to be mindful. The same game plan on Z. Watch for a red to green and then a break over the 200 SMA. If you can get that, I think you'll get, you know, a secondary move on it. The key is going to be today is really how does the market digest this monster cock gap. You know, gaps are nice on stocks, but they're not as fun on the market because it sucks out a lot of the range. Yeah, this W... it faded right off at it, kind of its old highs, its all-time high. You can see like it spiked above and then it closed right at it. So you've got like this kind of flatlining that took place pretty much all day on Friday. Watch and see if it starts to come out of this range and recaptures this old high. Its float on this is pretty tiny. It should be able to have like a really good move on it at some point. The issue is going to be like, is there a spread? And then is there enough liquidity to get in and out? See, there was a lot of volume in it on Friday, 12 million shares, which is a lot more than normal. But normally it only does like a couple million. And so if you're only going like with a couple million, at that price, you tend to get a little bit of a spread. Let's talk about some of the gappers here today. This NIO's popping up, and it is coming out of range. You know, a lot of this is happening because, like, supposedly they were on 60 Minutes or some bullshit on Sunday. If that's just, like, the case, that's why it's popping. You may get a pop and fade, like a sell the news event. Day twos, all day, every time you say the day two, your stock ends up cratering. Don't say the word day two. You're like the day two cock block. We just saw... Don't say day two ever again. Love you too, buddy. So we'll watch this one. This thing may fade off on a sell the news event, though, so just be careful. Like, I wouldn't marry yourself on this one. It typically is just a shitty trader in general. This TNXP, they just had a reverse split about a month ago or a few weeks ago. So you've really got the float down pretty tiny on a $5 million market cap. You're going to be really talking about a couple million share float at the max. I think this one may have some juice on it. Just be mindful of where the volume is. The best small cap stocks that are really running hot, they're running in like 20, 30, 40 million shares in volume. That's like really your clue that that's the one that actually holds. You know, like if you really think about like the ones that are really going, I mean, they're not doing just a couple million shares, right? They're really going for it. So keep an eye on TTNP. If you start seeing like 1-2 million share candles like on the 5-minute chart, like you're already like pushing the float like in candles, that'll be your telltale sign that you may have some legs in this. But if you're not getting it, I'd probably stay away. This CIFS is actually pretty nice too because this is a China stock. China stocks are hot today already, but you got yourself a nice base breakout over here, kind of over that 110 mark. You had a little volume spike on Friday too. I'd see if this one holds. I think that this one has a ton of room just because, well, frankly, it was 70 bucks, and you have room down to like you don't even your 200 SMAs even at $9. At that point, you're gonna have a little bit of action on this. So just I'd keep an eye on this. Watch for that quick pullback to the 9 EOA or an ORB. A stock like this, you can hit it on an ORB. It should have more than enough range. QRE. So this is a breakout to highs here. The liquidity so far sucks. Like you're not really getting too much volume in it. It is a breakout, though. I believe this. I don't know if it's all-time highs. It is. So anytime you get stocks, guys, that break out to all-time highs, that's when you have really the ability to have like a big move. Because when you get a stock that breaks at the all-time highs, the dips towards it also get bought. And that's where you can have like more elongated gains. The float on this is 32 million shares. It's got a $1 billion market cap. It is in the right sector too, right? Biotechs are hot right now due to that buyout of ONC. This one's been trending up anyways. So few things to look for at the open. Before you take it on an ORB or a quick pullback buy, you have to see, right? Is the liquidity there? I need to see at least 500,000 shares fire off at the open before I know that the liquidity is where I need it, especially at this price. You may even need a tad bit more. Watch the spreads. If they tighten, right? If the spreads are tightening as it's starting to break out, that'll give you kind of a telltale sign that, okay, it's about to go. Once that spread, if you're like near an ORB and that spread starts to tighten up, you may have to really just hit it on the ask and take it down because somebody's going to push that thing higher, right? So always just keep mind of some of that stuff. RGNX. You got a break here over 50. This is another biotech stock that's got some, a nice gap out. You've got room to like 60 bucks here in the 200 SMA. The issue with this one is going to be its gap on your daily chart is not as clean as, some of the other ones. So I would give this a B-. When you're ranking your plays, right, you always want to go in with like, okay, you always want to start with the cleanest charts and then like start ranking. And then keep this JT, Giant Food Technology, right? This thing, I don't know if it's an Indian stock or Chinese stock, but regardless, this thing's an IPO stock that's also rolling right out of range here. I think this one may have a little juice on it. I personally have not traded this one before. I've almost seen everything over the years, but I've not seen this one yet, so I'll have to watch it for a little bit. Yeah, CMBS looks all right. This thing's just a nut grinder, though. I think there's just so many hot trades in there's a lot of hot stocks in the market. It's more of a matter of like, do you want to sit there and dicker and deal with this thing? I don't know. You're gonna get kind of out of the range, but biotechs itself are just gapping because of right, this buyout over here. So it's gonna be tough to kind of it's gonna be a little bit tough to chase the gap. So let's go do what we do, people. As always, if you enjoyed, give me a little thumbs up. Always feel free to leave me comments. Trade well today. There's so many plays out there. If you guys aren't making good money, you know, make sure you give somebody a call and work on that, because the plays are there. These are account builder type days that you're seeing in the market. You should really be building up your accounts and milking it while you can. You know, markets usually go through multiple phases, right? You get uptrends, downtrends, and then choppy phases. And this is one of those kind of phases where you can really, really milk like what's going on in the market. So make sure you're having if your goal is normally say like $100 a day or $200 a day, in a hot market, you should really be trying to get to 300, 400, 500 to cover the spots where the market sucks. All right, let's go do what we do.